Hey there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittney Bundles, and today's video is going to be about the importance of protecting your peace in order to save your business. If you've been following my podcast at the Brittney Bundles podcast, I do have links below, or even here, I post my podcast episodes on YouTube too. Then you know that I talk about the foundation and I talk about pieces to building your business, not just about how you can get sales overnight or how you can become a success story in 2 months, nothing like that. Everybody's journey is unique to them. But I talk about the action steps because I truly believe that if you focus not just on the results solely, not just on the numbers solely, but the right behaviors and the action steps behind any business, then you'll be as successful as you want to be. And that has been proven to be true with a lot of different businesses that I've worked with during my mentoring sessions, as well as my business consultations. If you'd like to work one-on-one with me, I do offer those services down below as well. You can get to those services a few different ways. I have a website by the name of keepingupwithbrittney.com, and you can click on shop to go ahead and click on like a consultation or mentoring, whatever option works best for you. I do have descriptions under both. I also have a website by the name of badchickhair.com. Those services are there too. And if you have any questions or if you need any additional assistance with looking at which option is best for you, you can also text me. My text option is available directly through keepingupwithbrittney.com. And I may also put direct links below this video too. So without further ado, I want to talk about, like I mentioned before, the importance of protecting your peace in order to save your business. So many people are living in chaos in their everyday lives and wondering why their business is not progressing. And I'm not saying that your personal life has to be completely perfect in order for your business to thrive, but I am saying that your life, how you're feeling, what you're doing, who you're associating with, what kind of thoughts you're allowing to stick with you, definitely have a huge part to play in how you act, how you produce, and how successful you are in every area of your life. And so I'm going to be talking about some ways that you can protect your business. Working with entrepreneurs, I have realized that a lot of the concerns that people have are correlated with disruption in their life. I got a comment, and this is nothing to do, I'm not saying this comment insinuates that this person has any chaos or destruction or disruption in their life, but I am saying that they hit on a good point. And I'm going to be doing a separate video going into detail on that topic. But the comment pretty much said, I'm not scared of starting my business, but I'm afraid of starting my business and putting my face with my business and then my business failing and everyone remembering me as someone that failed. That comment was left under my video. You're scared of starting a business. I'm scared of you not starting a business. So I thought that was an interesting topic, which, like I mentioned, I am going to be going into detail in a separate video. So make sure that you're subscribed, that your post notifications are on so that you can hear that video when it comes out. But that comment resonates with so many entrepreneurs. I know it resonated with me because before I started my business, I was super concerned with what if? What if my business doesn't work out well? What if I stick my neck out on the line and I promote my business heavily and it doesn't succeed? What if? And I had a lot of what ifs about failure and not succeeding. And I had to get to a point where I was no longer allowing my negative thoughts, and I don't even want to say negative thoughts necessarily, because these are realistic thoughts. You know what I mean? Like everything that you do, there's always a chance that it will not work as successful as you had hoped it to work, right? So I don't even want to say it's negative. I think the thought pattern of thinking, what if this happens, is very healthy. And I think it's realistic. However, I had to make a choice as to if I was going to allow those thoughts to stop me from actually trying, to stop me from actually proceeding with my business and with the goals and the dreams that I desire. So everyone has a different breaking point. Everyone has a different time that they decide to push forward. But I remember I was in my brother's living room and we were having a discussion about working versus being an entrepreneur. And I had tried my business for a little bit, and I'm not going to go into full detail with the story. I'll save this for another video too. But I tried and I didn't get the results that I was thinking or hoping that I would get. And so I got discouraged and I stopped my hair business, Bad Chick Hair, for a while. And it wasn't until that day in the living room having that conversation with him and really walking myself through some of my concerns and weighing them, that I was able to make a decision that, hey, you know, I'm going full force with this and I'm not going to stop. Failure is not an option for me. And so I decided to pick back up my business, and I've been with it ever since. So I'll go into more detail about that later on too. But before we jump right into the topic, be sure to give the video a big thumbs up. Please make sure that you are subscribed, and let's get right into it. So the first point that I want to go over is your peace is correlated to your performance, meaning that how you're feeling, how stable you are, how clear you're thinking, how good you're feeling, bad you're feeling, all correlates to your performance. And so it's really important to learn how to encompass peace within. I was talking to someone a couple days ago and they were saying, I'm looking for someone that's going to bring me peace. And that's a whole nother topic for my Patreon, my Girl Talks. I know I'm hinting things and I'm telling you that I'm going to touch on them later, but I really plan to. So I understand where people are coming from when they say that, but please understand me when I say that please don't attach peace to a person. You know, start with the inner you, because what happens a lot of times is if that person isn't around, or if you and that person are on bad terms, or if that person decides to change, flip the script, then what? A lot of times we give people, we give things, we give ideas too much power. And we turn back around and we look at our lives, we look at our businesses, and we wonder, you know, why is this not working? Why are we stagnant? Why are we going back? Why do we continue to see the same patterns happening over and over again? And the truth is, a lot of times we are subconsciously and sometimes consciously allowing ourselves to continue to fall into traps in our everyday life that are prohibiting us from reaching our full potential. And I used to say this a lot, you know, I'm a Christian. And so I would tell myself the devil doesn't necessarily have to do anything, you know, that I'm going to just be able to recognize and say, wow, that's the devil right there. But as long as he can keep me distracted, he can keep me wrapped up in things that really don't progress me, as long as he can keep me searching for a specific person in hopes of finding peace or success, that stops me from fulfilling my vision. That stops me from being able to become as productive as I need to be. A lot of times when we tap into the skills that God gave us and when we are actually serious about doing what it is that God put in our heart and that fulfills us, it brings us into different levels in our life. It brings us into different relationships, as far as business, some personal, but it moves us toward God's will. And it also moves us to a place of success. You know, God wants us to have the desires of our heart. And so a lot of times we focus on different things that really that aren't rooted in a solid foundation. And it correlates directly to our performance. So your peace is correlated to your performance. So again, it's important that you find peace within. So what can you do to ensure that you're peaceful? Now, being at peace doesn't mean that you like everything that's happening in your life, but it does mean that you're at a place of acceptance and understanding, and that you also know that you have the power to change what you don't like. So knowing that, it helps you look at the world, and for a lot of people, I know for me, in a different light, in a different aspect, and it gives you a certain confidence to continue to go through and to allow your ideas to manifest into something that's great. So if I'm going through life and I'm constantly searching for a person that's going to attach peace to me, or I am constantly thinking about what others may say if I fail, and I'm constantly second guessing myself, I'm not going to be as confident as I need to be to put my best foot forward for my business. It's kind of like if you've ever been in school and there's a paper that you need to write, and after you write the paper, your task is to get up in front of the class and read it. Well, if you're telling yourself that, hey, I may skip over this word on accident because I'm nervous, I may have made a lot of different grammatical errors, I may spill something on my shirt at lunch and then everyone's looking at the stain on my shirt instead of listening to me, I'm not going to be in a clear space to do my absolute best. Not saying I can't get up there and do it, but I'm not going to be my best. So it's very important to find out ways that you can encompass peace and acceptance and understanding, accountability, and also a drive to want to become your best self, not allowing any of the what if factors to distract you and deter you from putting your best foot forward. Now, the next thing that I want to go over is your service and mission resonates with those it's intended to. So, a lot of times we get wrapped up, and I'm guilty of this too, with seeking validation from people for our business ideas. Are they going to appreciate what we're doing? Are they going to think that this idea is a good idea? Are they going to support me in the way that I would hope that they support me? Are they going to tease me and laugh at me if I don't succeed? At the end of the day, the mission, the message, the service, the products that you are offering, you have to have faith that it's going to resonate with those it's intended to. My message is not for everyone in the world. Now, I would like to think it is, but at the end of the day, I understand reality and I understand, just being honest. Not everyone is going to understand what I'm saying. Not everyone is going to receive what I'm saying. Not everyone is going to agree with what I'm saying. And that's okay. Not everyone is going to validate me in my decisions. Not everyone is going to like my decisions. Not everyone is going to support me. Not everyone is going to be honest in their support with me, because you have some people that may say they support you, but they really don't. And support looks different for everybody. So at the end of the day, we have to realize, and I'm looking this way because I have my notes here, but we have to realize that who your message is intended for, more than likely it's going to reach that person. Okay. It's kind of like me having if all of you were in a room today and I'm talking to you and I'm sharing these tips that I've learned through personal experience, as well as working with different businesses. There are going to be some people that are looking at me, or that may look at me and say, I don't agree. Or there may be some people that are in their phones the whole time and not paying attention to anything. And there may be some people that are really interested, taking notes, understanding what I'm saying, and apply what I'm saying to their life and see a change. But I don't want to go through that whole interaction constantly thinking about who's not supporting me and who's not listening, because it takes the focus away from those that are. Have you ever been someplace and the attention has been strictly on the people that were not doing what they were supposed to do, and you were doing what you were supposed to do, and you came in to get a certain message or a word, and you were robbed of that because of all of the chaos and things that were going on around you? I remember sitting in school some days, and there would be kids that would be like class clowns, or kids that wanted to fight, and the whole class hour would be taking on getting the kids out, and then the teacher would be talking about how that those actions were inappropriate. Now, was the teacher wrong for talking about that? No, I think that it's a necessary conversation, but the kids that were starting the fight were already removed. And so you had the children in there that weren't a part of the fight or weren't a part of the altercation. And now, instead of us learning what we came to learn, we're talking about what happened with kids that are no longer in the classroom. And again, I see why they would do that, but it robbed us of learning that day the material that we should have learned. And so if you focus on just people that aren't wanting to support you, people that are wanting to tease you, people that are wanting to bring you down, and not on the people that are listening, not on the people that want to support you, you rob your supporters. You rob the people that are really invested in what you're saying of content. I also tell people, because I have people that come to me and they're like, hey, I'm doing YouTube now, and I'm not getting as many views as I want. I can resonate with that too. But at the end of the day, I find fulfillment in the fact that I am resonating with people that it needs to resonate with. Can I stand to reach out to more people? Of course, we can always work on getting better. But I have messages from people that tell me how much I help with my videos. I have DMs. I have, when I say messages, I meant emails, and I also have text messages. I have people that reach out to me various ways. And so I'm happy with being able to connect with those that my message connects with. Okay. Now, the third thing that I want to go over in relation to protecting your peace in order to save your business, is that serious, is who determines your failure. So again, a lot of times we're looking for acceptance and we're looking for someone to give us the okay and green light to do what it is we need to do, and we really don't. We don't really need that. It's all in our mind. But who determines if you fail or not? Like that comment that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. I don't want to post my face or promote my business and attach my face to it, because what if it fails and people remember me and say, hey, that she's the one that started the business that failed? Well, who determines what your failure is? Who determines it? I know I don't give anyone that power. Whether I start a business, whether the business goes as I intended it to go or others intended it to go, I don't chalk that up as a failure. You know, a lot of you have been following this channel. You saw my salon experience. You saw me open the salon. You saw me contemplate on what to do with the salon. You saw me ultimately ending up closing the salon, and you saw how I pivoted my business after that. If I would have allowed people to say, hey, that's a failure, and I just stood in that, then I wouldn't be where I am today. And I wouldn't feel like I feel today. I feel very empowered. I feel very optimistic, and I'm happy with my decision to continue to move forward. And so at the end of the day, who determines when you fail? Who determines when you should stop? Who determines when you look silly? Who determines when you look like you're not smart or you're not doing what you should in your business field? Who determines that? Because if you're allowing other people to determine that, then you're giving your power away, and you're not really focusing on what you should be focused on. Again, it goes to that distraction piece. I choose, because I don't want to say I don't have the time, because we make time for what we want to do, but I don't choose to spend the time worrying about what others think about what I'm doing. And a lot of times, if you think about it, in reality, people that are worried about if you fail or if you're not are choosing to spend that time and energy on you, whether it's a good or bad thought, on you. And so you want to make sure that you're thinking about that. If they're going to spend their energy on me, I mean, I don't want to say give them a show because it's not about them, but I want to spend my energy on me too. So if you're thinking about it like this, they're spending their energy on you, criticizing or talking about what you should be doing and how you failed. And, you're spending your energy boosting yourself up. Who's worried about building them up? And a lot of times people eventually realize that sometimes it takes a maturity and age, that I've spent a lot of time worrying about others, and where is my life? And that's a humbling experience. And a lot of times when we get humbled is when we're able to give others grace, is when we're able to look at others through a different lens, when we're able to break away from what society is telling us we should do or what society tells us success is, and actually look through a lens of honesty. And a lot of people that doubted you, you may notice, are now supporting you. And that's why one of my sayings ring through. It's still present today. At first they ask why, later they ask how. Okay. Now, the fourth thing that I want to go over is, why wouldn't you win? So a lot of times when we are in these businesses and our business is not going as well as we want it to, we allow all of this negativity to come, and we start reflecting on, well, what am I not doing right? What can I do better? And there's nothing wrong with that. However, you also want to ask yourself, when you're thinking those thoughts of, man, what if I fail and other people laugh at me, or other people say she's a failure, or they remember me as failing? Who says that that's going to happen? Who says that you're not going to win? Who says that you're not going to do as good or even better than what you're thinking? Now, of course, there's a chance that you may not. I know my first time around, I didn't do as good as I was hoping I would do. But it's all perception, all perspective. Your bad day may be somebody's good day. I may sit here and be down on myself because I'm like, wow, I only had 10 sales today. Where someone else may be like, you had 10 sales, I had none. Or I may say, man, I didn't make any sales this week, but my website visitors increased. Now I'm getting about 50 visitors a day. I'm getting more abandoned carts. So you actually are able to have some leads to work off, and you're able to have a deeper look at what people are putting in their carts, and able to dissect what's going on with your website to see what you should be doing to put you in a better position. And so it's all about how you look at things. And you may have someone else that is sitting there paying for paid ads, doing all that they can, and not have any visitors, or maybe 2 visitors a day. So you always want to make sure that you're being very honest with yourself, but that you're looking at things on the, both spectrums. What if I do win? What if I do? And even if I don't do as best as I wanted to do, how well am I doing? And what can I do to change that? Looking at things in a positive, optimistic lens is really going to change your perspective on a lot of things, including business. The last thing that I want to go over, which is really important, is the company that you keep. You know, sometimes we look and we look at our lives and we look at our business and we're like, wow, this is not going how we intended it to go. And we may ask ourselves why. We're in that critiquing phase or in that evaluation phase. And one thing that I want to remind you all of is be careful of the company you keep. Everyone's not happy for you. And that's one of the reasons why you want to be careful about how much you allow others' opinions to weigh in your mind. Some people are naturally jealous. I'm just going to be honest when I say that. Some people are naturally concerned. Some people are naturally hesitant and afraid to do things that are considered out of the box or not traditional ways of generating income. Some people don't want you to succeed because it does not make them feel good about themselves. There are some people with the mentality of the better she does, the worse I look. The more she accomplishes, the worse I look. The more her light shines, the more it dims mine. Now, that's not a positive or even truthful way of thinking, but there are some people that think like that. And so you're thinking that your idea isn't good, and you're thinking that you may fail, and you're going to all these people for validation, not knowing what's on the inside of the people that you're going to. Do they really want to see you succeed? Do they really have your best interests at heart? And sometimes we don't find out who people truly are until their mask is off. And sometimes it could take years to really find that out. And I talk about that on, more about relationships and more of a personal aspect of protecting yourself over on Patreon with my Girl Talk. So if you're interested in continuing those conversations, be sure to join me over there. But that's true. We put a lot of expectation on people to support us, people to bring us peace, people to validate our business ideas, people to, cheer us on. And don't get me wrong, people are very important when it comes to business. They're essential, right? Because without people, I have no audience on YouTube. Without people, I have no one to support me as far as, in the earth realm. Not talking about God, I'm talking about people, the people that God placed here. Without people, I don't have any sales because I'm not selling to robots. You know what I mean? Without people, I'm not building any relationships. So people are the core of business, don't get me wrong. But you also want to realize that not every person that you come into communication with is for your business success, growth, or peace. And until you're able to settle things in your life and look at things through a positive lens and be able to demand peace and rest in peace. Again, resting in peace doesn't mean that everything is great how you want it to be, but it does mean that you're accepting and that you're choosing to move forward in a way that doesn't produce chaos, and that you're able to fully think, fully breathe, be yourself, and have the confidence to do so. Go forward with your business ideas. Get the what if thoughts out of your mind for a moment, just to try it. See what's going to happen. If you don't like it, be brave enough to change it, pivot your business, and continue moving forward. So I really hope this video helped. Again, I don't come to you all with the approach of you're going to get rich overnight. Do some people? Yes. But do the majority of us? No. Again, there's a lot of videos on YouTube that talk about how you can you are going to make a certain amount next week. Yes, it's possible. But again, you have to look at everyone's factors, and people that already have a following, it's a little bit different. So I want to say a lot different. I mean, I would say a little bit. I don't want to sugarcoat it. A lot different than someone that has no followers and that are starting a brand new business from scratch. It's a different journey. You know what I mean? And so if you tell people this is what you should be expecting in a week, and they don't get what you got in a week because you both are on different starting fields, it could be discouraging. So I'd rather come to you all with honesty and transparency, and also let you all know that at the end of the day, when everything's said and done, take your mind away from the numbers just for a little bit. Take your mind away from how many sales you got just for a little bit, and focus on what have you actually done to grow your business. What action steps are you doing? What seeds have you planted? What motion is behind you? How are you moving your business? Who are you allowing in your everyday life? What are you waiting for as far as validation? And how can we become solutions-based instead of thinking about all the reasons why we shouldn't do something. We have to protect our business. We have to make sure that we're our business's biggest advocate. And we have to make sure that we're protecting our peace and staying focused in order to do so. So I really hope that this video resonated with someone out there. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. If you have any video ideas and you don't want to leave them down below, you can always go to my website, keepingupwithbrittney.com, go down to the bottom and submit a video topic that you'd like me to go over. I do want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.